Okay, so part A of the Meetup project, I decided to join a group called Code. They meet on Discord, and the meeting that I went to, they discussed about team programming. It was a Discord meeting, and they meet every Tuesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The presenters were Matt AU, a co-organizer of the team Code. He's a software engineer for Robinhood, and he graduated at UC Berkeley. The second co-organizer was Derek Galen. He's a managing principal at Open Infotech Solutions and graduated at CSU-SP. The meeting started with other members catching up, and then when the meeting started, it allowed people to see GitHubs that they worked on previously, and then we jumped into using a logical puzzle as a warm-up, then went over different sorting algorithms and discussed the differences between recursion and iteration, thinking about time complexity rather than space complexity. And they talked about when choosing sorting algorithms, make sure to think of the uh, parameters that would make devs happy. Then they ended it with an example of bubble iteration. Now, who I met was one of the co-organizers, Matt AU. He told me he grew up in the Bay Area and he started Code with Derek in Southern California. He interned for places like Amazon and is a full-time employee for Robinhood. I asked him what an API was, and he explained to me that an API is a programming interface, which is a way to communicate a server to add or collect data from another server. Now, my thoughts was I was pretty nervous throughout the whole thing because this was like the first meetup that I ever went to, and I was pretty intimidated because like they seemed to know a lot more than me. However, the people were pretty cool, and I got to learn a lot about sorting algorithms, such as like a wine box algorithm, which I've never heard of before. And I would definitely go again. I've even, in fact, signed up for the next meeting. Now, the other membership I went to was for a Google Developer Student Club. They talked about the Google challenges, and it's a challenge with 100 teams that come up with a solution that uses Google tech for either poverty, hunger, education, or gender equality. And then he talked about creating an idea for this event and to define a problem and fabricate a solution. Now they talked about steps for creating an idea, which is emphasize, which means you want to understand your user, then define. By defining, it means like creating a foolproof solution. Then ideate means having an idea is more important than developing one. Then the prototype and testing of the code. Now for my Stack Overflow, um, I decided to take a screenshot of something I did last semester in my assembly class. It was a project that I had to create, which was basically a blackjack algorithm. And to create a random card that ranged from like the values, I forgot what cards have. I think it's like 1 or 12. I had to create a range between that, and I didn't know how to do that. So I remember searching this up, and I found this question and answer, which I applied to my project, and I got full credit for it. Now, what GitHub is a development platform which hosts open source uh, development projects, and which you can host and review code, manage projects, and build software alongside millions of other developers by browsing and downloading public repositories that you can then contribute to. And that is my project.